Good morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas, 9:22 a.m. The market has been open 52 minutes, June 17th. Today we're going to ask a simple question. Can Carvana save itself? First off, let it be known, here are the videos I have about Carvana on my website. Carvana lied to everyone. They have fallen so far from a self-inflicted wound. 2 years ago, 852 views. Carvana's fifth purchase had a mechanical problem 3 years ago. Plus rant against car salesmen. I'm beginning to like car salesmen more because I like Carvana so little nowadays. 24,000. And it seems to me like car salesmen have gotten a lot better. It seems like lately they have gotten much better. Oh, I used to despise talking to any car dealer. It'd make my skin crawl just having to go in there and talk to those lying bastards. But I think they've gotten much better. I really do. And I don't know why. Okay, now here's my number one video. 68,000 views. Buying from Carvana 4 different times 3 years ago. Returning our Carvana purchase. Sending the Honda Clarity back to Carvana. Yeah, I had some damage. Selling the C-Max Energy to Carvana. Carvana and room stock crashes. But so you know, I've talked about Carvana probably more than I should. But anyway, if you want to see any of these, just search for McFink Carvana and it'll bring them up. McFink almost anything will bring up my videos. But here's the problem with Carvana. First of all, they're one of the worst run companies in America. They are horribly run. Horribly. It's like if you put me in charge. I'd have no idea how to run Carvana. They'd still be horribly run. But I know one thing I would do. One thing I would do immediately to turn the company around. Unless somebody in the corporate office could talk me out of it. And I doubt that they could, because I'd be thinking, well, you morons haven't done a good job. If they really push, be like, look here, you goofy bastards. Like y'all were running this company right before I got here. I may not be the answer, but you bastards sure aren't. Y'all run this company into the ground. So anyway, I wouldn't actually say that. That's just what I'd be thinking. But here's what they should do. They should take a page from Paychex. Horribly run company, fantastically run company. Now, I'm not there. All I know about companies is what I see, what I read, the videos I watch. But believe me, I read, watch, and investigate these companies and Wall Street in general far more than the average person. Too much time, probably. I only work 10 to 15 hours a week. I need to do something with my time. And I spend a lot of time on this stuff. Paychex, incredibly run. Carvana, horribly run. And here's what I've been saying Carvana should do for years now. Carvana is constantly in trouble for violating state laws. When you're dealing with the state regulators, bureaucrats, office seekers, politicians, boards, when you're dealing with those people, it's tough enough to stay within the law of your one state. The more states you do business with, the harder your job becomes, because every state has different laws. Carvana is constantly in trouble for violating state laws all over the nation. They've had their dealer licenses yanked in a couple places and threatened to be yanked in other places. They need to hire 50 state experts. You know, for instance, Mississippi. They'd hire a state expert, probably from Mississippi, but not a requirement, but it'd be certainly helpful. But they have to know all the state laws for selling used cars in the state of Mississippi. They have to be an expert in that area. And they are in charge of every single car sale in their state. Well, I say 48 experts, not 50, because, you know, they don't deal in Hawaii and Alaska. But California and New York is so big they might need 50. They might need 2 of those states. But anyway, they have to be in charge of every single car sale. It does not mean they know about every car sale. It doesn't mean they sign off on every one. But if any complaint comes in from any state agency, the Department of Motor Vehicles or the governor's office or wherever, if a complaint comes in, it goes to his or her office and they see it. This is what Paychex has done. Paychex has hired 50 experts. Well, I don't know if it's 50 because I don't know if they deal with every state. But for every state they operate in, they have an expert in that state. And they advise and they consult and they pretty much run that state. That's what they do. And I guarantee it's not cheap. Imagine what it would cost to hire Carvana to hire 48 to 50 experts to do what I say they're going to do. It'd be expensive, but it wouldn't be nearly as expensive as having your dealer's license yanked. It wouldn't be nearly as expensive as the horrible, horrible publicity you get when it's plastered all over YouTube and all over the internet. Carvana has dealer license yanked in Charlotte, North Carolina. If that's where it was, I don't remember, but that sounds familiar. Carvana, state of Florida, threatens to pull their license if they don't have their crap in place in 2 months. Texas threatens to pull Carvana's license. What do you think those kind of headlines cost them? And besides, it doesn't matter. Carvana's going to be bankrupt anyway. Look at their, I don't know how you're going to get out of this. Look at this. $663 million in straight up cash, homie, as Randy Moss would say. $6.27 cash per share, but look at this. Total debt to equity. Anyway, right here. Total debt to equity. 13 freaking thousand. 13,000. I don't know how you can rack up that much debt. And $663 million is nothing. That's like being completely cash broke for a company that's worth $3.9 billion. $660 million is, man, now look at Paychex debt. By the way, Paychex, what they do, I should have said this up front, is if you have a small to medium-sized business and you need somebody to take care of your payroll, Paychex will do it for you. They'll take care of anything you want to take care of. They'll take care of the payroll. I think they'll take care of your 401ks. If you do 401k, they'll help you with your life insurance. They're pretty much the human resource department for your small to mid-sized company if you want to hire them to do that. And look at their debt. Cash, $1.35 billion. Let's look at their market cap first. Yeah, I know I'm all over the map. I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off. $40 billion market cap. $4 billion market. Man, I had no idea Paychex was worth 10 times what Carvana was worth. Jeez. I expect it to be about the same. But anyway, total cash, $1.3 billion. Now, since they're worth 10 times as much, I guess that's like $135 million for Carvana. But Carvana, I would think would need more cash because they're constantly buying cars. Of course, they're constantly selling them too. But total debt, $886 million. Total debt to equity, 27. So $886 million in debt versus $7 billion in debt. 13,000 total debt to equity compared to 27 total debt to equity. Now, Paychex at one time was debt free. I don't know what happened. You know, I'm hoping it's good debt. If I had been in charge of Paychex and we were debt free and we were paying, say, $100,000 a month for our office building, we had a chance to buy it or build a new one for about the same price monthly, maybe even a little bit more, you darn tootin' I would have taken on that debt. You better believe I would. Just like if you're renting and you're debt free, I say it's better to have debt and have a mortgage. You know, kind of the same principle. But they are keeping their debt in line even though they're no longer debt free. You know, they have a 2.68% dividend. But their payout ratio is higher than what I like to see, 70%. You know, boy, once it gets above about 50, I start getting nervous. Once it gets above about 75 or so, I get really nervous. Now, I don't own any shares of this company. They've been on my watch list forever. And look, even in this market, they're up 11.5%. Man, Paychex historically has done really well. And even though they've been on my watch list forever, I don't own any shares of either one of these companies. I used to own shares in Carvana, but I sold them a long time ago. And there's no way I'd buy them now. And all the problems they have. And at the time, I didn't realize how horribly run they were. But anyway, what do y'all think? Can Carvana get out of this mess? Is Carvana a dead company walking?
We got a dead man walking here. Dead man walking. We got a dead man walking here.
And I also think that Carvana's customer service now is pretty bad most times. When I made this video with 68,000 views, I was slurping Carvana all day long. Man, as a matter of fact, the reason I invested in Carvana originally, they were losing money, of course. They were a fairly new company, And I thought, man, this is a fantastic concept. If they can figure out how to make a profit, they're going to be freaking huge. And who knows what they could have done if they had been properly run. Who knows? You know, and I still buy and sell from Carvana. If it's the best place for me to buy or sell a car, I'm going to do it, even though I don't really care for them as a company. But this video was made when I was slurping them like nobody's business. I was pretty much a Carvana slurper here too, all the way up to here. This is an interesting video. They lied to the nation. Complete, absolute BS. And ever since then, and this is about the same time I felt like their customer service is starting to go downhill as well. But anyway, right here, see Max Energy? Man, this car, I love this car. I wish it had a bigger battery. This is one of the most comfortable, compact cars I've ever ridden in. The C-Max Energy is a fantastic car if you can stand 20 miles, 25 miles of summer electric range and 10 miles of winter range. I just couldn't stand that. All right, look at there. Carvana down 95%, and they still are. Carvana's down 93% now from the 52-week high. Ugh. That's about all. See ya.